Welcome to yet another edition of the Midnight Blue and Gold Launchpad Podcast. I am Rocket Ryan Brandt.
I am Pat Gillick, a.k.a. PJ Spiller.
And I'm pissed.
I'm Kyle W., and I'm sad and disappointed.
That's Kyle W. Smith, engineer, producer extraordinaire. Go ahead, Nate.
Oh, sorry. And I'm Nate, the Texas Rocket.
All right, so guys, I don't know. I felt like I wasted a good 4 hours on Saturday, but I was just watching on TV. Those who went to the game, what were your thoughts, and how depressing was it? I'm still pissed about this, but go ahead. I'll let you talk.
It was a lot longer than 4 hours down there. Tell you what, one way into the damn place. If you weren't there before 8:30 in the morning, you were stuck on 75 for a few hours, and rough.
That was just the beginning.
Yeah, no, the people were nice. They didn't have much to say because I don't think they expected a win.
Especially at halftime.
Yeah, right. I predicted the running out of hot dogs. Took me 45 minutes in line looking for hot dogs to end up with 4 pretzels, 3 of which I dropped on the floor on the way back to the seats. And Bowling Green fans just laughed at me, and I was like, you guys are birds. You're supposed to eat that shit.
I have a buddy at work who's actually a BG fan, and he was complaining about the number of concession areas that you could go to. He's like, the lines were crazy.
There's only 2 on
He's
one
like,
side.
I feel like it probably works for them outside of like that attendance number, but he's like, for that game, you think they adjust a little bit.
No, they don't do anything different.
As for the game itself, Rockets get out to a 21-0 lead and look like we were just going to roll. In fact, that was one of our keys to the game last week is get out to a big start, and then Pat brought up the point, don't take your foot off their throat, and we did, and we saw what happened. 28-23 your final. Bowling Green wins the second straight in this battle of I-75.
Yeah, and we're going to start off with the segment here with Texas Rocket, and let me paint a scene for you here, people. For regional sports, all of us had a pretty terrible weekend, but Nate might be worse than 99% of you sports-wise. He started off Friday with the Tigers loss, and then we got this Toledo loss here. He's a Michigan State fan, Penn State fan, and then Detroit Lions fan. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Nate, letting the people know what state of mind you're in right now.
I'm in mental despair. And
We're glad to have you with us today, Nate.
There's wellness checks through the whole weekend, trust me.
Football Fans Anonymous.
Yeah, it was.
Hi, Nate.
It was rough. I don't know if I've ever had that bad of a sports weekend, especially since usually baseball is not going on now. So add that in the mix, and it just wow. I words can't describe it. I'm gonna go on a little rant here. Okay, I had an eye doctor appointment on Saturday and couldn't catch the first 1 3/4 of a quarter. I turned it on right before halftime. 21-0. I'm like, wow, my prediction's going great, fantastic. I called a big Toledo win. Look at this. Score before halftime. I'm like, all right, that's okay. They can get one. It's fine. We'll come out second half and we'll be fine. I can't describe to you how disappointed I am that not only in the second half did we let them, come back, but just our mental. Me and Ryan, you watched it on TV. It just looked like Toledo just didn't care. I don't know if you thought the same thing. I don't understand that from a standpoint of that's your biggest rival. That's the team that you are supposed to hate the most. You should want to put 100 points on them.
Yeah,
every time we play them. And I don't know. We weren't in there for the week and to see what the team was like during the week, but that is just unexcusable. I don't know if coaches on the sideline were trying or what, but that's one of the worst losses I've seen as a Toledo fan in my years of watching Toledo. Just hurt. I don't know.
No doubt about it. I thought it was bad against Western Michigan, but then they go to Bowling Green and say, "Here, hold my beer, watch this shit." And look what happened. And here's the funny thing about it. I don't know. I was a backup offensive lineman, but to me it looked like the Toledo just played not to lose once they got up 21-0. I think that screen pass that took it to the house 50 some yards there right before halftime, make it 21-7. I think after that they just got scared. Everybody's sphincters were puckering, and they were afraid to coach what they did in the first quarter, first quarter and a half.
Okay, so I just want to interrupt real quick. You said they, meaning all the coaches?
The whole team should be held accountable because
absolutely.
On TV, I didn't see it. You know what I saw on TV? And I will say this: I thought the commentators were leaning a little bit towards BG a little bit. I don't know if that's kind of like the Eddie George hype or whatnot, but they showed Eddie George a lot, and that guy was fired up. He was ready to go. He looked
ready to play.
This is the game. Yeah, he knew what this was. For a coach to come into this rivalry and not have, not a former player of either team, and to have that mentality, I was impressed. I'll be the first one to admit that. Eddie George's mentality, it sounded like during the week he was fired up. During the game, he was ready to go. Like, he was amped. That's how it should be.
So I didn't tell anybody here this. Well, Ryan's away. Here he is.
Just getting a Powerade. I got to get hydrated after this, getting all fired up.
So with like 3 minutes left, I went down. I crawled through the sea of Bowling Green fans in their weird little mini sections, and I stood behind our playmakers. It was our wide receivers, Trainum, Gleason, and I gave them an earful. I told them that they were mentally weak. I got tossed.
You got tossed?
I was like, you motherfuckers do this every fucking time. Create your own fucking energy. This is fucking horse. So then the guy in a yellow jacket's like, get this guy out of here. And so I run up and there's only 2 entries on their side. It's like the 30 and the 30-yard line. As he was like trying to get through up to me, I just went around and came right back up to my seat. So I was tossed, but I went back and sat down. And the guys were shaking their head. They were getting a motivation, which
good.
It's the 3rd time this year it's been me going and yelling at the team. And it's been a decade of me doing that shit under Jason Candle. And then the guys actually they hear you. Why can't they self-motivate? We're a mentally weak team. And there's years where we've been able to create our own energy. There's a couple guys, it seemed like they were better friends, and that kind of helped. It just depends on the group. Like, I think Jerwan Newton became a more vocal leader as he went through his time at Toledo.
Max and Hook on defense.
Sure. When we play Miami of Ohio, it seems like for whatever reason, they really fire us up. We seem like we bring a little bit more juice to that game. I don't know why.
Unless you're Daquan Finn in the MAC championship, but that's another story for another time.
Well, he's there now. He was playing the long game. This team, they've got elite talent compared to the rest of the conference.
Resources?
It's close enough where I don't think that matters much. I don't think we're paying guys more than anybody else really in the league. We have had the depth. I think it comes down to what I said. We've played 3.5 freaking games of our starters, and we just don't have the physical capacity either for our defense to be on the field for an 8-minute drive. It's always a stupid trick play or something easy that I guess, you get beat by 1, whatever, it's fine, but you can't give up 200 yards a game and get 28 points scored on you. You can't be the number 2 defensive efficient team in the nation and give up 28 points. I don't care who you are. Now, that's not on the defense completely, but
no, you can't have 3 and outs.
How are we a break but not bend defense? It's crazy. Just 2 big plays, and Bowling Green feeds off all the energy in the stupid fucking cat, and that's enough for our team to be they punted the ball to Bryson Hammer. He fair catches it. They start a fight, basically.
They surround
him and start pushing and shoving. He walks back to the bench. How is our whole sideline not out there
defending him?
Getting a penalty, actually?
Yeah.
And instead, because, second guy always gets a penalty. I don't care. But that's the shit that pisses me off, where it's we're getting screwed on the call, and that we're sitting and going, wow, they should have called a penalty on that. That sucks. And like you said, Ryan, our butts are puckered. That 1 touchdown right before halftime, which I didn't see because I was grabbing pretzels.
Dropping pretzels.
Yes, exactly. And that was enough for Bowling Green to have a little bit of, think that they could do it right before half. And then we just go into a shell. And it's embarrassing. And we've got 6 more games to figure it out. I think 9-3 could be I mean, 6-2 in the league probably will get you to Detroit, to be frank. This league is chaotic. But now every game your back's against the wall. Every team only wants to beat us. That's always been a thing. Before Candle Camp, everybody. We are every team's number one game. Why don't we play, if we're going to go game by game and the next game is the only thing that matters, because that's all that Jason Candle says, then make this next game fucking matter. Because we don't play like every game matters, do we?
No, we play a half like it matters. If we're lucky.
If we're lucky.
But we're also putting our defense in a rough spot on that last touchdown just because we're running a slow-ass play action in their own end zone and then cause the fumble.
No, I'm not blaming the game on
after
the defense,
our tackles
really.
have been roasted for 2 quarters. Like that, that's just bad play calling. Like at that point, you just have to give up and be like, all right, we're going to punt it away and work the field position.
Our punter almost got blocked like 5 times, too. Every time we had a punt, I was like, oh, Jesus, they're going to get to him finally. Luckily, they never did, but...
Right.
God.
Well, I mean... You look. I'm sorry, Pat. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when you look at the whole game, there's one key play, and I know one key play cannot change a game, but it would have made a lot of difference. We're in field goal position. It's 4th and 6, and they go for it. Why aren't you? We're up 21-7. Why aren't you taking the points when we're up by 14?
They were on there like 35, I think.
And I heard Candle on the coach's show. Talking about that, saying about how he didn't want him kicking into a stiff wind like that. They thought they had confidence in their offense to get a first down.
Our flags were barely blowing at the tailgate. It wasn't windy there for the first time ever.
But what I'd rather see in that situation is trying to draw the offsides and then take the delay a game and then punt it. Because at that point in the game, they were absolutely killing them on defense.
Right. And I think that would have been a big swing.
And if they would have got the offsides, it would have been 4th and 2, which is way more manageable.
Right. But I'm all for going for it on 4th down, but not in that situation. Not 4th and 6 when you haven't done squat for the last quarter.
Right.
Yeah, it was one of the very few games, too. Like, we generally make pretty good defensive adjustments. We didn't think that quarterback was going to start. We talked about him a little bit last week as he's a playmaker when he gets in there. Drew Pine didn't play at all.
Right.
We seemed to bottle him up pretty well, but Bowling Green made the adjustments, and they said, all right, this is what the fronts and stuff that Toledo's putting on him. Let's get him out. Let's get him rolling a little bit more. They found they found like a couple 8-9 yard runs that extended some drives for them, but we need to be the team that makes the adjustments. Everyone's got freaking iPads now. There's not something that we saw on that defense that had been giving up 35 points a game that we could take advantage of. Like, come on.
You look at the stats real quickly. I mean, Toledo out first downed them 23-10. Net yards rushing 165-61. Of course, we're back to our old 2024 numbers of 3.8 yards per carry, but we held them to 1.7 yards a carry. Total offense 429-226. You look at all that, and that should have equaled a Toledo win, but not even close.
So I think that kind of ties up the game itself.
Well, I did want to mention something on the season overall, and I don't know if it's just we talked about it a little bit before the podcast. I don't know if it's a play calling situation or it's just Gleason's reads. Yeah. But right now on the season, Vander Ross has 37 receptions, which is fantastic. He's a great player. Fantastic. He's your number one. The next guy is Rudolph with 17. That's a huge disparity. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm going to say, let's lock up Vander Ross and see what they can do.
Right.
And Peterson had his first touchdown of the year. That was great.
Peterson had a great first half.
Yeah, he did.
So did Chip.
And Rudolph, I mean, who dropped the one play over the middle?
Rudolph.
Was it Rudolph?
Yeah.
That was Gleason
too.
That was Gleason's best pass of the year. The 50-some yard bomb over the middle.
Yep.
Diving play. I think it was 21-14 at that point.
I don't even think he was diving. He was just leaning forward, and it just went right through his hands.
And huge props to Christian, too, for that that wheel route that he caught. I mean, that was a beautiful ball, too. And just seeing a running back have the hands like that, that was cool to see.
We have the players.
So what I was going to say was, I was going to lead into what Kyle just mentioned, but obviously it's been a few days now since the game, and the thing that's going around Toledo on social media and bulletin boards and message boards is Candle needs to go. Fire Candle. A few years ago, when they had a bad season, I was on that bandwagon. I am not right now. I know there are a ton of people that are not really in tune with the program as much that feel that way. Is there anybody in this room that feels that Candle needs to go? Because I think he needs to hire an OC.
No, but it's getting to the point where it's hard to argue.
Right.
But I don't think I think it's time to say, hey, let's get a true OC.
Right.
Which we've been saying for a while.
Since 2001, Toledo has lost 12 times as a double-digit favorite.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Pat. I mean, again, how can you coach an entire game or handle an entire team when you're worried about calling plays? Makes no sense to me. I'm sure I don't know of anybody. I mean, I'm not in tune with all the other programs out there, all 135 other ones, but I wonder how many other head coaches actually call the offensive plays.
Yeah,
I mean, to me,
none of the head coaches give up all the keys. You know, you got your pivotal moments in the game where the head coach is making the final call. You know, you're given a few plays and you're like, let's run what we've been practicing and what we know.
Right.
And get this first down or touchdown or whatever you need to get.
There's a lot of keys on that chain. It's impossible to run a program in 2025 and handle everything. One thing that kind of annoys me is in his bye-week presser last week, he said that we need to be recruiting because now there's only one transfer portal window. We got to get on top of these kids. And so we're doing a little bit of recruiting this week while we're reflecting on ourselves before we turn to Bowling Green. Reflect on yourselves from the previous game, sure. The coach should not be doing any recruiting midseason. I don't care. Unless you're 2-6 and it's your first year, don't worry about recruiting. I don't think Eddie George gave a shit about recruiting. He was worried about winning games and filling that student section and showing what it's like to be a Bowling Green Falcon. And right now, it looks like they're having more fun in Wood County than we are here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's easier to go into, somebody to recruit and say, hey, look at these wins we got.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be thinking about what they're doing at Hilliard Darby or whatever high school. Like, that's not, divvy that up to somebody else.
Right.
I will say one note real quick. The game looked phenomenal on TV. I was impressed. I wish the MAC would have that crowd all the time. Because it sounded great and it looked great on TV.
It sure did.
Yep, it did.
Toledo brought a ton, though. I mean, we brought as many as we normally do. They just kind of spread us out because Bowling Green, they had overflow student section where our student section usually is on our side. So it felt big time.
It sounded really good. I was really impressed with that. So I wish teams would fill the stadium like that all the time because that was fun for the MAC. Good exposure on ESPNU.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to this week. We got the Kent State Golden Flashes fresh off a 42-6 win over UMass, the MAC newcomer. Or I should say, back into the MAC. Toledo leads the all-time series with Kent State, only 28-21, but you got to figure back there in the 60s and 70s, Kent was a little bit better than they have been in recent years. Last time they played, the Rockets beat Kent State 52-31 at the Glass Bowl back in 2022. Now, for those people thinking about staying away on Saturday, you may want to, this is kind of cool. They're going to honor Varsity T Hall of Fame football players at halftime. Two players going into the Hall of Fame this year. Place kicker Tony Lee, who had the kick that won the West against San Jose State in the first ever California Bowl. Tony Lee, place kicker from Fostoria St. Wendland. From 1981 to 83, he played for the Rockets. And then running back Trinity Dawson, who was great. One of the baby backs there from 2001 to 2005. So if nothing else, if you're mad about the recent play of the Rockets, come out and support those guys because they did bring us a lot of joy.
The gospel recording artist Trinity Dawson back in the Glass Bowl. Can't wait to see
him.
That's right. This game is against an old foe that we've played for years and years and years, who for the first time since maybe 2011 is coming into this game with a better record than us.
And they have one of the toughest schedules in the nation.
Right. So they just smacked down UMass. And if it's not for a last-minute touchdown by Buffalo to take them down in early September, they'd be 2-0. For a team that I thought had a worse roster than the majority of the FCS, they're playing for the old skipper there. And this is a game we can lose. If we play like we have seen in 3 or 4 halves this year, we can lose this game. The way that Candle saves his job, among probably most scenarios, is go 6-0 at home. you can't lose this game, and I'm not so sure that I want to bet Toledo covering any spread at this point.
Right. I don't even know what the spread is yet. I'll check on Saturday morning.
You brought up the 6-0 at home on Candle's press conference on post game from BG. Or no, I'm sorry, it was his press conference yesterday. Looking at Kent State, I haven't had a chance to verify this, but he said this year MAC teams are 7-37 on the road.
I think he said 5-37.
Maybe 5-37. Yeah. So obviously we got to figure out, we figured out how to win at home, but not like we should be. And we can't figure out how to win on the road.
The spread is astronomical. It's 25.5.
Oh my God.
Anybody got a mortgage you can loan me and I will bet it on Kent State right now?
I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Because I mean, I guess there's a side that we're just absolutely pissed off, and we come out and blow the doors off them.
If we have that in us,
we did against Morgan State and Akron.
Look at the disparity in talent there.
Hey, Morgan State's 3-3. Just saying. No, this is a huge game for us, and it's not one that I would have projected to be a big game. Mm-hmm. You know, this is a get right spot, and then our schedule gets far more difficult going out west to Wazoo and Pullman, and then coming back home for midweek action against Northern Illinois. So we got to get back right. This is also a game. I assume Tucker Gleason's going to be the starter, but if he makes any little stupid mistake, I pull him.
Yep.
And I start to see what else we got on this roster that might have a little bit more moxie.
Osborne's shown some flashes when he's been in. I don't know if Richter is back from concussion protocol yet or not, but yeah, I agree. One little misstep, and he's got to come out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this Kent State team has played in front of only crowds larger than 60,000. So
except for their first game against Merrimack.
Well, Merrimack, those were at home. It's their first road game that won't be in front of 60,000 people. If you are still on this bandwagon, you're still listening to this podcast, it's 80 degrees, 2 o'clock game, mid-October. You still got to get out. You got to support them. Because you know what? If we walk out of there 55-0 and we're winning, you might have a little bit better of a weekend than Nate did last week.
There's a good chance you do.
I think anybody would have a better weekend.
Who do the Lions play?
Tampa Bay.
Oh, shit. Never mind. It might still be rough. We'll see.
Well, the Tigers can't lose again, so.
That is a plus.
Yeah, do we have any? I mean, I've watched a little bit of film on them. DeShields, feels like their 8th quarterback they've ran out this year. Yeah. Delino DeShields. Man, that was what
Delineo.
Good pull there.
That's right, Pat. I forgot all about that. Delineo.
We called a game.
Getting back. Yeah, go ahead. Tell the story.
We called a game once out at Mudhead Stadium when it was in Maumee, and they were playing, I don't know, Pawtucket or somebody, and we were going through the lineup, and the one guy was Delino DeShields, and I kept calling him Delineo.
Good old Delineo.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's got 9 touchdowns and 1 pick on the year. He's had a pretty good year and not a ton of snaps. He had 4 touchdowns last week on only 10 completed passes. So they went over the top very well. It looks like there's a lot of team speed on that Kent team.
They ran back the opening kickoff for a touchdown.
Yep, they're flash fast. Nate loves their powder blue uniforms, so we'll see what they bring into the Glass Bowl. But we just got to get back to playing Rocket football.
Yeah, I mean, their running game, they want to get more involved with that, according to their coach. They want to get their running game more involved in the game plan. And looking at their stats on the year, their leading rusher only has like 256 yards. The next closest is 68. So
yeah,
I don't think they're going to be able to lean on that very heavily.
No, they got one big tight end that looks like a freak. But other than that, I mean, he's bigger than their O-line and D-line combined. So they're not the biggest team.
I take their stats though with a grain of salt, just because
the teams they've played,
have just been,
Well, the one that interests me was if you look at their team tackles, top 10 players, most of them are their DBs, with basically their linebackers sprinkling in. But
a lot of team speed, not a lot of team beef. So them lines of scrimmage are lean right now. But hey, they got some guys that are fighting for. Who knows if this is the coach they rally behind? They'll be Kent State Golden Flashes for a few more years. If not, they'll have tape to go and move on up in the world to maybe a Southern Miss or an Old Dominion, something
Well,
like that.
from the way he made it sound, the coach from Kent State in his presser before this game said, we've taken some tough losses, but we're learning along the way, and we're getting better in certain categories we want to get better in every week. And he said, not only are we getting better, these defeats are rallying our guys. It's making a tighter knit group. And I don't know, does that seem like it's something that we might be lacking this year? It doesn't seem like the team is very, like a family, like they've been before, the past 8-10 years.
Do you think that has a little something to do with maybe the transfer portal and new guys coming in and just not really?
We were the least transfer portal team in the MAC, though. So,
True.
like Kent or Bowling Green has like 70 new guys. So I don't know. It would be a good explanation. I hate listening to other MAC podcasts. And they're like, we gotta just get used to these guys leaving every year.
No,
and it's like, well, at Toledo, we're not used to that, and we hate when that happens. But after what I've seen so far, we might have a few guys test the waters here. I don't know.
Right.
Sorry, I'm being so negative today, guys. I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but desperate times calls for desperate measures. I don't know if that really applies here, but
we didn't really do players of the game, but I do want to give a shout out to Kevon Sherman again.
Yes,
he got me out of my seat a few times. Tackles for losses. So
he had a great game.
He was fired up at least. First half from what I saw, and then Peterson had a good first half. Trainum usual was pretty solid. I think he's up to 650 yards rushing for the season so far. So
and Peterson had a nice first half.
We complained all year last year about the run game, and we have it now. So at least they fixed that.
Yeah.
My player of the game is Pudge the cat.
Just because he was on game day.
I don't care.
I think that's why real quick, one more point. I think that's why we are so angered by it, because we have the defense is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we feel like we kind of fixed part of the problem that we had last year with the run game. I think that's why we're just so frustrated with this team, because we think that they have the keys to be good, and they're just.
Well, maybe we don't have the people that are turning the keys at the right time.
True.
It's like gambling. Gambling in this sport is so crazy because it doesn't matter about, necessarily team strength on team strength all the time. It's a lot about the spot and, who are you looking ahead to, who you just have a letdown to. Like we just saw Penn State go and lose this weekend after they lost to UCLA, and now James Franklin's gone. So it shows you how quick the tides can turn. And
it's a guy who was one win away from in the playoffs last year to making it to the finals, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was an overtime win against Oregon 3 weeks ago from getting an extension.
Right.
And they found the money to kick him out. So for those that do want Candle fired, I don't know. I guess there is money. The right donor wants him gone, and they got the next guy in the suitcase for us. Shit hits the fan. I'm not putting anything past this stage of college football and athletic directors.
Hypothetically, who do you bring in then?
James Franklin.
Yeah, he'd probably do okay here.
His salary might be much.
From what Nate was telling me earlier, he was reading there's a clause in his contract that if he finds another job, they basically pay the difference of what he makes at the next school.
He has to actively look for another job.
Right, like he's on parole.
Jeez.
Hasn't Nick Saban been here before? You think he'd
come
a
back
retirement house?
It's kind of a bookend. Begin your career here, end it here. Why not?
Yeah.
He seems pretty cushy right now, I'm not going to lie.
He's probably making
more on game day than he would in Toledo.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I think the outside the box hire would be the guy that was just the Bears coach and got fired last year.
Eberflus.
Yeah, I think he would
He's
probably take it.
He's D coordinator for Dallas right now, which they're 32nd in the league.
Yep. That would really work for us.
Hey, well, if you could retain Vince Karras,
Well, if Matt Campbell's the next head coach at Penn State, Candle might say, "Man, I'll go back and be your OC for a little bit, take some heat off me," and then Candle's right back up there to be a Big Ten coach in a couple years. So there's a lot of avenues this sport could break. It's only week 7, and we've got maybe 3 of the biggest jobs in the sport that are going to be open. I think Florida's going to open too.
Yep,
right.
Florida State potentially as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Norvell's been tricky to
Started off hot.
figure out. Hey, Mason Heinschel, the freshman from Clay High School at Pitt, kicking butt.
He had a hell of a game over the weekend.
Yep, we let him walk. He really wanted to play in the Power Four. So,
where was he from?
Clay.
Oh, okay.
Oregon Clay.
I wonder. I was wondering if he was your guys' old basketball coach's son.
Nope, they are related though. I think
Okay.
nephew or great.
Yeah, Heinschel's not Smith or Jones. It's got to be.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do a prediction for this week's game? Let's get there. So, since you spoke up first, Ryan, go ahead.
I thought we were just going to talk about basketball today, but
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, the team hasn't been to the NCAA tournament since 1980. I don't really want to talk about them till March, but
I meant women's basketball. But.
Oh, good. Yeah,
well, Paulie's on location at the women's tip-off tonight, so he can clue us in next week.
He's doing some scouting for us.
Maybe we can be our special guest. We'll reach out to him. So, my prediction, I guess Rockets 31-10 ish.
That's not a cover, by the way.
No.
I think Dan's right. They'll probably come out and just smash them, and it really won't matter. But 34-13.
Us?
Yeah, Toledo.
You
had to check that though, didn't you?
Yep. Pass.
I am gonna go. Yeah, man. I was going to go 38-14, but yeah, I'm going to stick with 38-14. Us.
Math. Okay. That would also be
It wouldn't be a cover.
No, 24. God, bad at math podcast. I'm going 22-6 Kent State. The same score as the Colorado State game in 2019, which was the saddest I've ever been in the Glass Bowl, versus a team that I thought we were much better than. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to predict a loss until we win 3 in a row, and then I might jump back on.
The Rockets have broken Rocket Man Dan.
He's broken. A mere shell of what he used to be.
What do you got, Texas Rocket?
I am, I wanted to lean towards Dan, but I'm gonna give him one last shot. And if they don't win this, they're going winless for the rest of the year for me.
Yeah, if they don't win this, we're going to basketball.
I'm gonna go with they're gonna have to earn this one. So I'm gonna go 27-24 Rockets.
Man, that's not a bad call. That was my other kind of score I was wavering on, like a tight game in the 20s.
This might be the most depressing score prediction in podcast history.
I think so. Everybody's voices are down.
Yeah.
Before we switch to basketball, though, we could really do volleyball because they're kicking butt, and they did win leg 1 of the Battle of I-75 last Thursday or Friday,
and had a record crowd,
2,252, I think.
Yeah.
So, way to go, lady volleyballers!
It's a great job being done by the first-year head coach.
Absolutely.
We may have to have him on soon.
Oh, what's his name? Yeah.
Well. I'm so depressed now. I'm too
I can't think
weak to type it in.
It was funny. I thought as the podcast rolled on, we'd be a little more fired up by the end, but I think we're even more down than when we started.
Let's go, Rockets!
TOL and shit.
Defense.
I do have an update with the bowl projections. We haven't moved.
There you go. Let's end on a nice note.
Still projected with the Idaho Potato Bowl versus Fresno State. That's one of them.
All eyes will be on that.
And then the other one is still the Boca Raton, and that one's versus Temple now.
Okay, that'd be a nice little rematch from 2015.
Yeah,
back when we beat them.
Yeah, Cincinnati's 5-1. I don't think they're going to Boca anymore.
No,
they're in contention for the Big 12.
Yeah.
And I was speaking of Boca, I was down there for the big battle between FAU and UAB. Got to see Trent Dilfer coach him up to a loss.
His last game.
Yeah, you saw history, Ryan.
Did he get kicked out?
He got canned Sunday night.
No, didn't know that. Well, my Twitter's been down. I've been suspended for some reason. So
told you to put those pictures in a separate file. Block it.
Well,
he's in Twitter jail.
Wait, are you the reason why some guy said the candle apologist deleted his Twitter? I thought they were talking about me. I was like, you can at me, bro. I don't care.
Yeah.
I thought it was Nate because he does absolutely nothing on Twitter.
I don't. I retweet occasionally, you guys, and that's about it.
It was Ryan in Twitter jail.
That's right.
I'll send Elon a strongly worded message and see if we can get you back up there.
I did apply for reinstatement, so I'm waiting to hear back. So,
all right.
If we have to assemble a panel, we will.
That's right. We'll get a fact-finding commission.
I'll go down to the Gigafactory and I'll talk to him tomorrow.
There you go.
And Nate's pretty close to that.
Thanks, Nate.
He and Elon are like this.
Yeah, that's decent.
All right. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Nope.
Anyone?
Bueller? I think that's gonna put a kind of dingy blue and gold bow on this bitch.
On behalf of engineer producer extraordinaire, the one, the only, Kyle W. Smith, I'm Rocket Ryan Brandt.
I am PJ Spiller.
I'm still pissed.
And I made the Texas Rocket.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for listening. Go Rockets. Beat those golden flashes. TOL.
EDO.